Impact segment tonight. Only a few politicians have picked up the White House feud against Fox News. Most of our elected officials are staying far away from it. But the chief offender in the House is Congressman Alan Grayson from Florida. Here's Grayson on Dick Cheney.
He's just angry because the president doesn't shoot old men in the face. But by the way, when he was done speaking, did he just then turn into a bat and fly away?
Well, it sounds dignified for a congressman, doesn't it? Here's more from Grayson.
Fox News and their Republican collaborators are the enemy of America. They're the enemy of anybody who cares about health care in this country, the enemy of anybody who cares about educating their children, the enemy of everybody who wants energy independence or anything for good for this country, and certainly the enemy of peace. There's no doubt about that. They are the enemy.
Now, we asked Mr. Grayson to come on the program tonight, but he's hiding under his desk, possibly hiding from bats. Joining us now from Washington, Sally Quinn, former Post reporter and co-founder of On Washington, a WashingtonPost.com blog. All right, Ms. Quinn, first this Grayson guy. You know this guy? He sounds like a loon.
I don't know him, but guess what? Here we are talking about him, and I think that's what this is all about. He's obviously getting the attention that he desperately needs.
Oh, okay, there could be something to be said for that. He represents the Orlando area. But he's certainly kind of unhinged. When you hear rhetoric like that, you know, the Dick Cheney shooting a guy in the face and this and that, doesn't it sound a little immature?
Well, I think it's worse than immature. I mean, what he said was so completely over the top that it was. It reminded me a little bit of Blagojevich. You know, I mean. Oh,
that's good. That's a good. Yeah. Unhinged.
Yeah, unhinged. It
right.
made no sense. And so I don't think you can take it seriously. And I also think that I can't imagine the Democrats feeling good about this, or the White House feeling good. You don't want this guy. But you don't want this guy sort of on your team.
Right. And you know, his constituents down in Orlando.
That's why.
You got to be looking at this guy, and he might rethink the shirt as well. Okay, now.
Well, it may be why he's not on your show tonight is because he's gotten the word to keep his mouth shut.
Well, I don't think so. I think he's afraid of me. But I attended a dinner party with you one time, and I was very grateful you didn't run screaming from the room when I entered. And you in Washington, you're around. I mean, you talk to a lot of powerful people, and you go to these dinners and these salons and things like that. Is the Fox News White House, let's call it a feud, whatever it may be, is that a big story in the corridors of power?
Really big story. Everybody is talking about it. And from what I can gather, certainly among my colleagues and other politicians, everybody thinks that it's dumb and dumber what the White House is doing. I've talked to one or two people who were trying to sort of figure out, they had a theory about why the White House was doing this, and maybe it made sense on some level, but most people just think that it's absolutely crazy. I am baffled by it. I'm particularly having gone through Watergate at the Washington Post and having the Nixon people turn against the Post. It never pays. It just doesn't make any sense at all to take on a news organization and single a news organization out.
Now, Bernie, as you heard, Bernie Goldberg is a little cynical about the straight media, mainstream media, elite media, whatever you want to call it, coming to the support of Fox News. He says, well, you know, it's probably just this niche pool thing. It's not a philosophical thing. They don't like Fox, and you know, if they can damage us, they will. Do you see it that way too?
No, I just look at everybody's looking at it and thinking we're next because.
But why would the liberal media be next? They love the liberal media.
Well, but you know, everybody turns on the White House at some point. I mean, everybody writes negative stories and broadcasts negative stories because there are things that come up that people make mistakes, people screw up, and that's what the press writes about. And so, at some point, they're going to get mad at NBC or CBS or the Washington Post or the New York Times, and are they then going to shut them out? The way they're doing with Fox. It doesn't make any sense, and I think everybody's looking at this and saying, you know, the whole point, Barack Obama is acting like he's in campaign mode, and he's not.
Well, he's acting like he's acting like he's in campaign mode for the 5th grade.
Well, but
I mean, this is, you know, why would
president? Right. He's president of all of the people, and therefore he should reach out to all the people, and I don't understand why he's deciding that he's going to separate out one niche, one group of people and say, I'm not talking to those people. First of all, you know, the old line about keep your friends close and your enemies closer. If they think that the Fox viewers are their enemy, then they ought to come and talk to them and try to
you would think that you would gain in power and prestige. You saw the interview I did with Barack Obama last year. That was just, you know, that was a good thing for Obama to do. He gained a lot of credibility for that.
Yeah. No, you know, it doesn't make any sense. And at some point, you know, they're going to need Fox. They're going to need, and you know, every time I come on Fox, I get a lot of feedback.
Yeah,
and
sure.
the feedback is from a lot of different people who have different political.
Listen, our audience is enormous, and it's a worldwide audience, and they are making a big mistake. Ms. Quinn, thanks for helping us out tonight. We appreciate it.